Hey guys, I'm here with Judge Pirro, who has a fast-paced daily court show on the CW Austin weekdays at 2. You see everything from small claims court to family cases, and you've seen all types of stuff. Tell me about some of the most bizarre cases that have been in your courtroom.
Well, you know, when you say my courtroom, I think of when I was a real judge trying murders, rapes, and violent felonies, which I don't think would be light enough for our interview.
Right?
But, you know, I've had cases that involve people like Dennis Rodman, who's come into my courtroom, and we tape in Chicago, and they went ballistic in Chicago when Rodman came in. You know, we've had a woman by the name of Air Force Amy, who, if you watch, what's the name of the show?
I know what you're talking
on
about.
HBO. She is apparently the highest paid prostitute in the country, and she's suing, and she was in the Air Force. That's why they call her Air Force Amy. She was honorably discharged, and I said to her, Amy, how does one go from the United States Air Force to the Bunny Ranch? And she thought for a minute, and she said, well, you take 95. It's about a 3-hour drive. And I'm sitting there saying, this is a real courtroom today. Maintain your sense of cool. But we try to have interesting people and people from all over the country. And one of my favorite places, of course, is Texas. So today is Lovey Love in Texas.
You started the first domestic violence unit in the nation, and you're a member of the National Domestic Violence Hotline Celebrity Board. What started your passion for speaking out against domestic violence?
You know, I grew up in a small town where, you know, my mom loved my dad and my dad loved my mom, and I worked in a dairy, and life was really very simple. And when I went to law school, I found out that there's a whole segment in our society at the time, in the late 70s, who were not protected. Women were being shot and stabbed and beaten and brutalized in the home, in a place where, you know, should be a haven in a heartless world. And there was no prosecution of these cases. It was only a crime if you killed your wife, not if you beat her. And so I started one of the first domestic violence units in the nation, and it was really about crusading for the underdog, you know. It's very simple. What's right is right. What's wrong is wrong. You can't be silent. You have to call out people who hurt other people. And, you know, we have to stop, and I said this earlier, we have to stop being morally or politically correct and start being morally right. It's not fair to ignore victims who need our help. And that's kind of been my passion, and children as well. You know, the internet is now an opportunity to bring predators in the homes of children. And so I started the first internet pedophile sting operation in the nation. So it's been a great run for me. But these are themes that I continue in my courtroom every day. You know, if I have a mother who's a drug addict, I'll say to her, look, I'm going to call Child Protective Services unless you go to rehab.
Right.
One went to rehab, Karen Robinson, came out 60 days later. I interviewed her again. She wants to be a rehab counselor. She's now connected with her children. She's a good mother. I mean, some people just need help. You know, they need a helping hand. And if I can do it, I'm going to do it.
That's awesome. So you're actually in town today because you're the keynote speaker for an event called A Day to Shine. And tell me a little bit about that event.
Well, you know, domestic violence is often seen as abuse between husband and wife or common law relationships, but unfortunately it starts with teenagers. And so as being a member of the Domestic Violence Celebrity Hotline Board, my mission is to convince young people, and that's why we're here in Austin for the weekend, and so, again, thrilled to be here, you know, loveisrespect.org is a website that you can go to, but it's to talk to young people in a fashion show at the Austin Country Club on Saturday at 2, and then a dinner Saturday night at that club, to talk to them about the fact that if someone loves you, he's not going to push you, harm you, control you. He's not going to be jealous. He's not going to make you feel less about yourself. And I've handled homicides of teenage girls by their alleged boyfriends. And I know that this can run the gamut from a little control to out-and-out abuse and murder. So I think the earliest we can get to young women to kind of instill them with a sense of self-esteem, that they're beautiful, that they're worthwhile, that they don't need a man to feel worthy. And if he doesn't make them feel worthy, you know what? You know, just keep moving. And that's my message.
Well, personally, I think you're such a strong woman, and you're definitely an inspiration to us all. And just for your fans out there, how do you get tickets to your show?
Well, just go to my website,
okay,
judgejp.com. We tape in Chicago, and we'd love to have anyone come by. And you know what? I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook, and again, Judge JP. Come to the show. I mean, it's free.
Yeah.
And you might learn something while you're there.
I would love to go.
So come.
I will. Well, don't miss Judge Pirro weekdays at 2 on the CW Austin. Thank you so much.
Good to be with you. Thank you.